So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to add a stream countdown timer to OBS Studio using Stream Element. So let's go ahead and dive into my money making machine so we can get your countdown timer set up. All right, so here we are inside of my money making machine, and the very first website that we're going to go to, it's going to be Stream using Stream Element. So let's go ahead and dive into my money making machine so we can get your countdown timer set up. All right, so here we are inside of my money making machine, and the very first website that we're going to go to, it's going to be Stream.
Top of the morning. You want to share your screen? Yep. And had you set a timer before? Like had you set a certain time for it? You want to share? Okay. Yep. Yeah, I gotcha. And had you set a timer before? Like had you set a certain time for it? Yeah. Well, it might be a Stream Elements thing, but we'll check OBS first. Yeah. Well, it might be a Stream Elements thing. Yep. No, it's good. Yeah. No, I can't see it. Well, it might be a Stream. Check. Oh, I can't see it. Yep. Yep. No, it's good. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Perfect. All right. First things first is you see this OBS right here? While it's on the starting screen, mute that. Hey man, popping in here to tell you you're muted on the stream. Yeah, you've been kind of talking to yourself. I tried to tell you. Hey man, popping in here to tell you you're muted on the stream. Yeah, you've been kind of talking to yourself. I tried to tell you.
All right, hold on. Give me 2 seconds here. Microphone. Boom. Boom. All right. All right. What the heck, bro? Oz, are we good now? Can you hop back in here? Tell me if we're good. I'm gonna bring myself down just a little bit though.
Yep, you're good.
Let's get it, baby. All right. Dope. Okay, sorry about that, crew. All right. So I don't know what everyone else heard, but let me take you back real fast to the very beginning. Okay, so the growth of agency therapy and why we started doing it and all that good stuff. Okay, that's essentially kind of what we're chatting about. Okay, and we started inside, and I'm sorry if this is like your third time hearing this. We started inside Clubhouse. From Clubhouse, we moved into, I believe it was a Facebook channel of some sort. We did that for like a couple weeks, and then we moved into Discord, and then Discord's kind of been where we've been at for the last couple of months. So essentially what we're going to be doing is utilizing this live stream for the first hour, so from 5 to 6, and people have been asking me for like different times. It's funny because people asked me for a 6 o'clock like later start, and now they're asking for the 5 o'clock again, which is kind of weird to me. So we're bringing the best of both worlds. So the first hour, 5 to 6, we're going to do kind of like a live stream on YouTube. So if you guys want to see what I'm seeing on my screen, jump into the YouTube. If you go to the general chat, click on the YouTube link in there, you can join me in the live stream, and you can actually come and comment live inside of this. And then also, and let me pull up the chat real quick, that way I can see everything. And then the second hour, guys, will be more of not necessarily a live stream. It will be the live stream still, but we're going to open it up for Q&A like we normally do. So from 6 to 7, you guys will be able to come in 6 to 7 and be able to jam with us. So yeah, so we're not changing too much. We're just adding an extra hour, so you guys get me for 2 hours, which is pretty dope. But I get to jam on what I want to jam on for the first hour. So and today, guys, we're talking a little bit about morning formulas, which I'm pretty excited about. I think there's been like a lot of noise around like morning formulas, like what you actually have to do. I think the biggest thing around morning formulas is specifically creating something that works for you, right? And you know, I'm an early morning person. I don't think you have to be an early morning person to have like a good start to your day or a good morning formula. You could have an evening formula as well, right? But I want to take you through exactly the morning formula that I've kind of built out for myself. That has pretty much made me one of the in my opinion, one of the most consistent versions of myself ever, and why I kind of consider myself like probably more consistent than 99% of entrepreneurs out there. And I do attribute it to this morning formula that I've kind of created for myself. And so there's a few things that you kind of have to like do within your morning formula. And like I said, I don't think it really matters when you're waking up. So if you're waking up at 5 in the morning, great. That's awesome. Good for you. But if you're waking up at like 8, 9, 10, whatever, like I honestly don't think it works, but it's a consistency that makes it work, right? So waking up at the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every day, that's what makes it work, not necessarily when you wake up or when you go to bed. So hopefully that makes sense. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, brother. So let me share my screen real quick.
Sound is off and the YouTube.
All right, we should be back now. Sorry about that, fam. So, Ray. All right, you guys should have me back on YouTube now. I apologize. Literally, like, the first stream that I've ever really set up. So, I apologize for the technical difficulties on the first one. Hopefully, we'll have it locked in next week. All right, so essentially, the reason that I get up between 4:30 and 5 a.m. is quiet time. This is when I get the most done throughout my day, okay? I'm not getting bombarded with Slack messages. I'm not getting bombarded with DMs, text messages, really anything. So I use 4:30 to about 9, okay? So here, let me drop down here. So I'll zoom in a little bit, that way you guys can see this better. So I'll use, normally I really don't start work until 6. And I'll tell you why here in just a second. Okay, so 6 a.m. start time. But this is like, so 6 a.m., 6 to like 9. Okay, 6 to 9 a.m. is like deep work time. Okay, this is when I get a majority of my work done for the day. And the reason that I get the majority of my work done here is because I'm not getting interrupted with DMs, Slack messages, client notifications. Okay, so start time is really important. Okay, now what am I doing between here? Well, I do have a 30-minute commute ish. Actually, it's not really 30 minutes. It's probably 25 minutes that early in the morning. So normally 5:30 a.m. is when I am jumping to my commute. Okay. And normally that puts me at work at 6 o'clock. Okay. So 5:30 a.m. commute, 6 a.m. start time. Okay. This first like half hour of the day, there's a couple things that I do. I write in a journal. Okay. And we'll talk about that journal here in just a second. So before this, we have the journal. Okay. And then just kind of like getting ready, right? Brushing my teeth, all that good stuff. But the first thing that I do in the morning is my journal. And I'll talk a little bit more deeply on the journal here in just a second. And then, yeah, so 6 to 9, this is like deep work stuff. So this is what I would consider like it's taking most of my attention away, as far as like in-depth work that takes a ton of bandwidth away from me or takes a lot of mental strain. This is like my ideal work time right here is like 6 to 9, okay? And then after that, we have, our first meeting in the day. After this, we call it our impact meeting. This starts at 9:30, okay? And then essentially the rest of the day starts. Client calls, Slack messages start flowing in, all of that good stuff. Like pretty much after 9:30, my time is almost I wouldn't say useless. Like it's done doing like the fulfillment of the business, but the 6 to 9 time is everything else. This is when I write copy. This is when I create content. This is when I create pretty much anything that is going to take a lot of attention, and I need to like really separate myself from all the distractions happens during this time. So for me, like, I'm gonna highlight this like gold or this ugly yellow color because this is the most important part of my morning formula right here is the 6 to 9 time. Okay. Just simply because it's distraction free and nothing is pulling my attention for an entire 3 hours. So I have 3 hours to do deep work. Okay. And in this 3 hours, I would almost guarantee I get more done in 3 hours than most people will get done in the entire day. Okay. So having this time away, super important. Now, you could flip this on its head and do PM time, right? So if you're like, hey, Josh, I'm a night owl, like I don't like waking up early. Okay, well, when do Slack notifications normally start turning off? Well, normally around 6, right? 6 to like 9, 10 o'clock at night are when Slack notifications start turning off, right? and clients aren't trying to get a hold of you. So on the opposite end, this could be a really good time for you in the evening to block off for some deep work. Now, here's the thing. You just went through your entire day, and now you're doing your deep work towards the end of the day. That's the only thing that I don't like about flipping it upside down and doing a PM time. But some people just get filled up. Some people have energy like that at the end of the day. So whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you, right? So that's essentially like my morning formula as far as like a macro view of what's happening. So early mornings, and then normally I'm in bed by like 9 o'clock. So I do go to bed decently early. I would say like I run on 6.5, 7 hours of sleep on a daily basis, and normally that's pretty good for me. Like I feel pretty good. Like as you can tell, like I feel like I have decent energy right now, and I don't feel like I'm like super drained, if that makes sense. So that is like the macro view of my morning formula. Okay, macro. Okay, macro view. Let me know if you guys have questions on that. Drop them in the chat. All right, so let's talk about this part right here. Okay, morning journal process. For the longest time, I've just have not been a morning journaler. At all. Like for whatever reason, it's been one of the hardest things for me to like implement in my life. But every successful or somewhat successful person that I know does like some sort of journaling method. Like people that are at a high level. And so I was like, I'm just gonna force myself to do this. Okay, so let's go through my journal process real quick. And I don't remember everything off the top of my head, so I'm going to pull up my phone to kind of talk about it. Okay, so I utilize the Day One app for this. I think we've talked about this before of apps that we use, but Day One is the app that I use for journaling. It is an iPhone app. I think it should be on Android as well, but I use the Day One app to journal pretty much daily, right? And so I got this from Taylor Welch. He's the person that introduced me to this application. Super good one. Really easy to fill out. And if you have a good format, it's easy to fill out. Okay, you can also do like voice notes in there. So if you're like, hey, like I want to talk to my journal, sweet, you can also do that as well. Okay, so Day One is the app that I use for my morning journal. This is normally like a 10-minute process that I do first thing in the morning. Okay, so like first thing when I wake up. So Day One, and then inside of the Day One journal, let's pull up today's entry real quick. All right, what are the things that I cover in my Day One? Okay, so since I do this in the morning, I reflect a little bit on the day before, the previous day, and yeah, I pretty much reflect on the previous day, and then have some things that kind of move me forward into today. Okay, so the first thing that I actually talk about is personal growth. Okay, and inside of personal growth, the question that I have so what I do is I copy and paste this format in every single day. And I think I got this format from a John Maxwell book. Which one is it? It is How Successful People Think by John Maxwell. If you ever want a good read, that's a good one. But he puts these questions in there. He has a few more questions, but for me, like I wanted a journaling process that only took about 10 minutes. Okay, so personal growth is the first thing that I kind of touch on. What did I learn yesterday that will help me grow? Okay, so what did I do yesterday that will help me grow? That's the first question that I ask myself. Okay, normally a couple things here, one or two things. Hey, this and this, right? Okay, normally I'm not going to be like doing like a bunch of different stuff, but this just helps retain information for me, especially if there's something that like I read yesterday and I'm like, hey, like, I did learn about this. I'll take notes on it, and I'll reflect back on that. Okay, sometimes I'm like so tired in the mornings that I'm just like, oh, I don't even know what I learned yesterday. So it'll make me go and dig up my notes that I take in my Kindle or the book that I'm reading, and like go back and review it. So this is just like a quick review in the morning of like things that I actually learned. Okay. That's numero uno. Numero dos is adding value. Okay, you can normally position this a couple different ways. Okay, but the question that I have in there is, to whom did I add value? Okay, I think this is an important question to ask because you'd be very surprised on like how selfish you'll be sometimes in like the string of 30 days. Okay, so this is something that I ask myself a question of like, okay, who did I add value to? And then also like, who am I trying to add value to today? Okay, maybe I have some calls on my radar. It's like, hey, like I'm gonna obviously hopefully bring some value to these people, but do I need to reach out to people? Is there someone that I haven't talked to in a while that I need to go and add value to and go and reach out to? And value doesn't necessarily like mean I like have to give them something or ask them, you know, specifically about, you know, how business is going and like try to like multiply their income. Like that's not the whole idea behind this. Idea is like, hey, like can I add value and like just asking how they're doing or doing like a mental check on someone, something along those lines. Okay. But also, yes, if you can help people multiply their business, that is also adding value. All right. Adding value, leadership. Ooh. When was the last time that you talked about leadership? Okay. Did I lead by example today? Is this stuff helpful? Let me know if it's not. We can always move on. But hopefully this stuff is helpful. Hopefully you guys like this. Okay. So did I lead by example today? One of the questions that I normally ask myself. And you'd be very surprised sometimes when you're not leading by example. And for me, like this one's like kind of touchy sometimes for me because I'm like, ooh, like it hurts sometimes because like, dude, it's hard to be a leader. It's hard to be consistent as a leader, and sometimes you don't lead by example. And so for me, like this is just a gut check of like quick self-awareness check of did I lead by example today? Okay, pretty self-explanatory. All right, after that, let's just do this here. Okay, after leadership, personal faith. Okay, now I know it's not for everyone, but it's something that's important to me, so I reflect on it. Okay, did I represent God today? Okay. Once again, personal faith is something that is very important to me, and so I want to make sure that I represent God in the right way. Okay. After personal faith, it is marriage and family. Okay. I totally spelled marriage wrong. Marriage and family. Okay. Very similar question, but did I communicate and show love to my family today? Okay, so did I communicate and show love to my family today? Okay, and normally I go a little bit more in depth. This isn't just like a yes/no question. You know, I'll go into depth of like how I showed love or, you know, how I communicated with my family today. Or maybe, you know, I didn't do a good job communicating with my family, and I'll write that down there. Okay. Inner circle. Next point. Okay. Have I spent time with the key players? Dude, auditing your inner circle is super underrated. You'd be very surprised of like who you're spending time with, who absolutely suck the life out of you, and do not bring, you know, do not fill your cup up, and they're just a drain consistently to you. And so for me, like I audit my inner circle daily. Okay, people that I want in my inner circle and people that I'm separating from. There's separation seasons. And there's seasons where you grow closer with people. And oftentimes, you know, you do have to have separation seasons with certain people that are in your life and certain people that don't necessarily fit the values and fit the trajectory that you're trying to go in life. And this is very normal. And normally, like, it's very normal to have these conversations, or I think it's normal. Some people don't like it, but like I'll have these conversations with people like why are you ignoring me? Or it's not necessarily just ignoring you. but it's like, why do I feel so disconnected? Well, it's like we're just not on the same paths, right? So normally I don't it doesn't feel like something that that is super necessary, but trust me, like there's certain people that will just suck the life out of you, the friends that, you know, will invite you to the bar, the people that will kind of just, you know, have you do the activities that would take you away from your goals and trajectories. You want to weed those people out, right? And not saying that that's, you know, it's wrong to do those things, but, you know, hey, if it's taking away from where you're trying to go, might be time to audit that. All right, let's jump into discoveries real quick. Last one. Okay. Discoveries. Oops, sorry. So kind of similar to or the personal growth side, but a little bit different. Okay. What did I encounter today that I wish I gave more thinking time to? Okay. So what did I encounter today that I wish I gave more thinking time to? And if you guys want me to share this board so you guys can come back and look at this, I will do that real quick. I'll drop it in the chat for you guys. Boop. There it is. Okay. You guys can utilize that. You should have a view and you can come back and copy and paste some of the stuff in. Okay. So those are the questions that I normally audit myself every morning. Once again, this takes about 5 to 10 minutes to kind of go through, and normally it's just 1 or 2 lines on each of these. And then from there, there's certain things that I will read through that I have copy and pasted into each of my journal entries. Okay. And I'll read through them real fast for you guys. So I have a value section. Okay. So these are things that I value, and just quick reminders of like, almost like affirmations. They're not necessarily affirmations, but they are things that I value in life, and I want to keep them top of mind when I start my day. So simply, I play to win, not for what people think of me. I'll go the extra mile and do it with excellence. My family comes first. What people think about has little to do with what is real. I don't put out gossip. That's low-level energy. I deliver consistently. I'll never arrive because constant growth is the goal. My health directly correlates with my ability to be a good husband and a good business owner. My ego will never get in the way of me helping someone on their way up. Not everyone is going to align with me, and that's okay. I'll do my best to serve them anyway, and I'll forgive people who try to hurt me and understand it's because they are hurting. Woo! There's some good ones in there. Some fire. And I didn't create all those myself. Some of those I learned from other people. Okay. So those are just things I quickly read through in the morning. I just 30 seconds, read through all those just like I did here, just to keep them top of mind. Okay. After that, it's kind of like a what I want section. So goals for the business, goals for my life. And I'll cover those. Okay. And I'll just read through them. And then the last thing that I read through is my peers. Okay. People that I want in my inner circle. And once again, auditing that inner circle, but I have like goal people, right? People that I'm like, hey, like I like the way they do business. I like the way they carry themselves. I like the way they communicate. And I want that person to eventually be in my inner circle. So like, for example, Alex Hermosi, right? Would be a pretty cool person to have in my inner circle. I like the way he communicates. I like the way he's building businesses. I align with a lot of the content that he puts out. So he's on the list, right? And so what I'll do is I'll kind of keep tabs on this list of like, hey, have I communicated with this person before? Have we exchanged DMs? Have we gotten on a Zoom call together, right? And so I'll kind of like do these check boxes of like, these are the steps we kind of need to do in order to get, recognition from that person and to start building a relationship with that person. Now, don't get this confused with like you're trying to like force yourself into someone's life. That is not the case, okay? Relationships take time. But at the end of the day, if we don't know who we want to be in relationships with, then how do we know, who we're going to start conversations with? How do we know who we're going to start building community around? Okay. It's important to know these things. Okay. And it's important to know who you want in your inner circle. So just another example there. Okay. And that's like my entire journaling process. So you have the questions that we kind of laid out at the beginning. You have the values. Okay. What values kind of ring true for you? What do you want in business, in life? Okay. Goal setting type stuff. Review those daily. And then your peers. Who do you want in your inner circle? Okay. Make a list of people. People that you think are dope and are like, they're doing good business. They're doing good work. I look up to this person, right? Like, don't get me wrong, like, I think Jeff Bezos would be, or maybe Jeff Bezos isn't a good example. Maybe like Elon Musk or something, right? Like Elon Musk would be dope to have in my inner circle. He's not on my list because I'm a few steps away from someone like Elon Musk, right? But like someone like Alex Hormozy, a lot of my friends know Alex Hormozy and know him well, and he would probably consider himself in their inner circle, and vice versa, right? So the people that I'm like one connection, one step away from, those are the people that go on the list. So hopefully that's helpful. Drop me a thumbs up if that was some good stuff. All right. So that is the morning journaling process. Does that make sense? Is that good? Ozzy, dropping them one? Sure. I don't even know if you drop emojis in the chat. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. Good stuff. All right. So that is my morning journaling process. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, I think. The last thing is the exercise and diet side, okay? Which I know like people don't really like to talk about, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Because like, in my opinion, this is something that you have to have dialed in. I think one of my values, I'll read it back one time. My health directly correlates with my ability to be a good husband and good business owner, okay? So health starts with exercise and diet, okay? And guys, let me tell you, I have a pretty flexible diet. I get to eat a lot of good stuff, okay? Now, the whole idea behind my exercise and diet, okay? The main goal with both of these is, let me do this real quick, is that I stay under 15% body fat, okay? When I'm 15% body fat and under, I look good naked, okay? And that's the whole reason that I do it, okay? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't get me wrong, I do it for the health reasons too, but like, hey man, like I want to look good. So, Oz, you need a lot more of that. Hey man, this part is like, in my opinion, it's one of the easier things to dial in. It's just staying cognizant of your nutrition, of your exercise, right? Just got the Whoop band, by the way, so I'll let you guys know my thoughts on the Whoop band maybe at some point in time, but I just got it yesterday, started using it today. So I'm excited to kind of measure a lot of these things. I'm going to add one more off the top of my head here. Okay. Sleep. So let's do this. Sleep is at the top. Everything else is kind of secondary. Okay. So I create my entire schedule around my sleep. Okay. Have to get at least 6 hours. Okay. This is the minimum. Okay. Minimum 6 hours. Okay. If I do not get my sleep, this is literally like everything else goes out the window. I do not function as a human being. I don't get my exercise in. I don't eat properly. Like everything else falls apart. Whoop is fucking sick, bro. It's funny. It holds that message because you swore. I'm gonna show it. Yeah, because Whoop is fucking sick. Okay, but sleep, guys, have to get 6 hours. Okay, your sleep is tied to literally your ability to do anything and everything effectively and efficiently. Okay, so prioritize sleep. My whole schedule goes around my sleep. Like if I pulled up my schedule right now, check this out. Okay, check this out. Okay, I have sectioned in here when I'm sleeping. Okay, so 3 hours of sleep here, and then back up here, we have 4 hours of sleep for a total of 7 hours. Okay, that's the ideal scenario is 7 hours. Okay, so 3 hours of sleep here, 4 hours of sleep here, because you can't like continue it from one to the other. And then, you know, starting to wake up, I have it sectioned off as 4 a.m., but normally I'm getting an extra hour here. Okay, so I should probably adjust that in my schedule. But I even have my sleep scheduled out. So, sleep is king, okay? And then exercise, diet, secondary, okay? Let me give you guys, so if you guys don't know my background at all, I went to college for exercise science, okay? Health and fitness for general population, okay? And essentially, I worked with general population for about 3 years. I think I had close to like 50 people lose over 50 pounds or more while working with people within that 3 years. So I know a lot of the hacks. I know a lot of the things that you can do to like just stay lean and not have to worry too much about what you eat. So here's the hacks. Okay. Exercise. It's simple. Okay. Movement daily. Okay. Which you're like, what? Movement daily, Josh? Like, I don't have time to work out every single day. Okay. Yeah. Make a little bit of time. Okay. If you want to get really lean, 30-minute walk. Okay. At some point in the day. And like 30-minute lift. Okay. It's true. You do make time for things that matter. So 30-minute walk, 30-minute lift. Okay. And you can section these off or you can do it together. It doesn't really matter, but like, got to get your steps in. Okay. Walking is a great fat burner. Okay. And 30-minute lift. Okay. Doing some sort of like lifting exercise. It's not going to make you bulky. It's not going to, the whole idea behind this is like when you tear down muscle fibers, you will have to rebuild those muscle fibers, and it takes calories to rebuild those muscle fibers. So when you lift heavy. Okay. And lift regularly. Okay. Now, this is something that is flexible, right? So if you're like, hey, like I just, I don't need to be like extremely lean. I don't need to be like 15% body fat. But you want to stay like somewhat lean, right? Do this like 2 to 3 times per week. Okay. 2 to 3 times per week. And I'm telling you, you'll get lean. Okay. Now, if you're eating like an idiot, probably not. But at the end of the day, okay, this is it. This is all it takes. Right? And especially if you do this regularly, like if you're good about walking, like just get outside, like go listen to your podcast, but like while you listen to your podcast, go walk. Okay. If you have a deep thinking session, sweet, go walk while you do your deep thinking. Okay. Do this daily. Okay. So get your walks in daily and then get your lifts in. Okay. 2 to 3 times per week. That's about the extent that you have to do it. Okay. Now, if you want to take it up a notch, you can do some more high intense stuff as well. You can do a little bit longer lifts. All right. But should be hitting all the body parts throughout the week. So if you're doing 2 to 3 times per week, like make sure you're hitting full upper body, full lower body during those 2 to 3 times per week. And I would say probably 3 times a week. Okay. Not even 2. Okay. Do 3 times. You could do that. All right. Let's talk about diet. And we could go a mile deep on this here, by the way. So we won't. But like as basic as I can make it, these two will help out a ton in losing body fat. Okay. Now, diet. This is like one of the most frustrating topics to talk about because there's so much shit out there that's just like, I don't know. It's just garbage, right? And so there's a few things that work for me. And there's different seasons that I go through when it comes to nutrition. Okay. I have my shit show season. And then I have my dialed in season. Okay. And I just made those names up right now. Okay. But this is essentially how my diet normally goes. It's either it's a shit show or it's dialed in. And this is probably how it is for most people when it comes to nutrition. Okay. When I'm in my shit show season, which I'm actually currently in right now, I've been just kind of eating whatever I want, whenever I want. Okay. Okay. I lied. I'm eating whatever I want, but not whenever I want. Okay. So in my shit show seasons, to like help calibrate this a little bit more, and this is not a shoo-in for everyone. So this is not nutritional advice. This is me just showing you what I do. Take this with a grain of salt. Do what you feel is best for you. This does not mean it's going to work for everyone. Okay. But this is what I do. Okay. So when I'm in my shit show season, when I'm really busy and I'm like, I'm just going to order B-dubs, which I ordered last night. It was delicious. Just ordered B-dubs, some fries, good to go. Okay. This is what happens. Okay. I fast. Okay. And I fast for the entire morning and sometimes the entire afternoon. So today I didn't eat until about noon because I knew I was going to work out today. Now, if I wasn't going to work out today, I would probably fast the entire afternoon and then eat whatever I want for dinner. Okay. So this is what I do. Okay, so I fast the entire morning, and then I fast sometimes the entire afternoon. Kind of depends. Okay, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters when it comes to nutrition is calories in and calories out. Okay. Now, a ton of people are going to disagree with me on this. They're going to be like, oh, Josh, like Diet Coke will make you fat. No, it won't. And those people are stupid. Been drinking Diet Pop and all that shit for years. I've maintained under 15% body fat throughout it all. Okay. It's easy. Okay. Calories in, calories out. Okay. So this is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. This is not nutritional advice. This is what I like. This is what I do. Okay. But in my opinion, calories in, calories out, only thing that matters. If you eat more calories than you burn at the end of the day, you're going to gain fat. And if you don't eat as many calories as you burn throughout the day, you will lose fat. Simple math. Okay. So when I'm in my shit show season, I fast. Okay. It just helps me control my calorie intake. And for me, like, I just have like a shit ton of caffeine in the morning. Probably not the healthiest thing for me, but get a bunch of caffeine, helps suppress your appetite. I drink a ton of water in the morning as well to make sure that like my stomach is full of something. It's just not calories, right? It's not food. Okay. And then I will get my calories at the end of the day. Now, there's no like secret sauce of like, oh, like when you fast, you lose more fat. No, it's not. It's not true at all. Okay. There's no such thing as like fasted cardio or anything like that. Like people will disagree with me all day, but literally show me any proven study that shows that fasted cardio makes you lose more fat. It's just not true. Okay. So I will fast the entire morning, sometimes the entire afternoon. Okay. Just to control my calories. Now, dialed in season. Okay. When Kobayashi is trying to get lean as fuck, this is what I do. Protein every meal. And that's pretty much it. So like I will eat probably like 25 to 50 grams of protein per meal. And after that, like I'm normally not super hungry. And like what I do is I just control my other macros. Okay, and if you're unfamiliar with macros, proteins, carbs, fats. Okay, those are macros. Okay, I normally control carbs and fats. It's not that like something's like carbs are not bad for you by any means. Fats are not bad for you. You need all of those. Okay, but what I do is like I like pack myself protein because protein normally is like a little bit harder to eat like a lot of. So I'll eat that first, and then if I'm still hungry, then I'll eat my carbohydrates and my fats after that. Normally my proteins are coming with fats, but like carbs are for me like that's the trouble. Macro, once again, it's not that they're bad. It's just normally you can eat like a ton of them, and that those calories do stack pretty quick. So that's what I do for my dialed in season. It's like I just focus on protein at every meal, and then pretty much whatever else I want to eat. So it's like I'll like force myself to eat like a chicken breast, and then like I have like 2 pieces of pizza. Normally I'm just like I'm so stuffed from that, right? And so, which is like a really weird combo, but it's what works for me, right? So protein at every meal, and then I just control the rest of my macros from there on out. And I don't really count anything. It's just kind of like guesstimating. I don't know. I've done it enough now that I can estimate. Oh, and then the other rule off of this is no overeating. Okay. Okay. So when I'm feeling satisfied, I just stop eating. Okay. And this is like the cognizant part. Like you have to be very aware of like how much you're actually eating. Like when I'm full, I'm done. Like I don't overstuff myself. If you can control that, and normally if you can control this with, even in your shit show season, you'll stay pretty lean. Okay. Overeating is like the number one killer of getting fit and losing fat. So that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I do. Water, super important. I drink a ton of water throughout the day. I wouldn't say I drink a gallon, but like, I don't know. I drink like 2 or 3 of these like big bottles a day. And that's normally enough for me. And that's it. Let me know if you have questions on nutrition. And so when I have all of this kind of dialed in, that's when I'm the most effective. That's when I'm the most efficient. Okay. And it's not perfect. I have weeks where I don't do workouts. I have weeks where my nutrition's a hot mess. I have weeks where I don't do my morning formula. Okay, that's part of it. But the more consistent I get with this, it seems like the more it's correlated to me making more money / getting advances in business. So that's what works for me. You have to figure out what works for you. It took me about 5 years to figure out this exact formula. I did everything. I worked out in the morning. I worked out in the evening. Now I do my workouts in the evening. But it's like I, would fast. I would not fast. I cut carbs. I would not cut carbs. Wouldn't eat fats. Would eat fats. Never did like vegetarian or anything like that because I like meat too much. But it's like you have to figure out what works for you. This is what works for me. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you. But I'm showing you that the more that I have this dialed in, the better that I become as an entrepreneur, and the better I become as just an individual person. Okay. And I would say like this is on consistently like 80%. The thing that changes a lot is definitely the nutritional side. So the diet is hard to kind of keep in check sometimes. It's like convenience is really key for me. So I'd probably go through more shit show seasons than I should when it comes to my nutrition, but normally I keep everything in check, right? Like I'll just, there's this thing at my gym called the InBody. I take my body fat percentage. If it goes, close to 15%, I'm like, all right, we're going back to dialed in season. Cause like, this is where I want to be. And normally I float between like 10 and 15% body fat. That's pretty much it. That's what I do. My lifts are super quick and intense. I try to do this walk every day if I can. Sometimes I miss. I've been really bad at it the last couple of weeks, but I normally do this in the mornings, and I'll just like listen to a podcast at the same time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions, let me know. Every successful agency has a caffeine addicted partner or CEO. That's facts. Got my caffeine right here. Cheers. It's a little late to have caffeine, but it is delicious. All right, guys, that's it. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed this live stream. We're gonna kick it over to Discord now. We'll keep the live stream going, but we'll bring people up now. We ended 12 minutes early. Next time I will have like another segment planned or something. Oh, you know what? I have another segment planned, and it'll take about 12 minutes. You guys want to see the LinkedIn DMs that I get? I don't know how legal this is to show people's names on here, but I'm doing it. So I never use LinkedIn. I hate LinkedIn. I think it's one of the most garbage platforms on the planet. It's illegal? Okay, sick. Well, I'm going to show everyone's name on here. What's up, Frazier? The live stream says hello. Anyway. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. LinkedIn is brutal. So I always like to, I think this is going to be a fun segment here. This is my favorite right here. Can I zoom in on this? Control plus. Bring it in, baby. Kevin Dobson. Nice, man. Great to connect. We're just going to respond to some DMs. If you guys want a specific response, let me know. This is what you get all the time, right? Of like, I'm looking to grow my network of business owners. Ugh, it's horrible. It's so transactional. There's no relationship built here. All right, next. Vishal. InMail is the worst thing ever. It's like literally like, hey, I'm going to pitch you on something. I'm a freelancer, social media marketer. I recently started a social media agency. I'm struggling to find clients. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Oh, shoot. I just got a lead, guys. I love it. Yeah, let's do it. Yes, I'm interested. That's so funny. I'm just finding leads inside of my inbox. That's so funny. Hey, thanks, Shaq, if you're around. Which I probably could have customized a little bit better message than that. But yeah, anyway. Sweet. A good one, actually. It's like Messenger takes up the whole screen. I zoomed in, Oz. That's probably why. You can click on messaging tab and it'll do that. Oh, nice. Okay, let's just do that then. And then we can zoom back out. Okay. Dope. All right, Shauna. What's good? I'm not even gonna... Oh, this is posting jobs. All right, Eric. Hey, Joshua. We're giving away agency owners a $100 Amazon gift card for attending a 30-minute demo. If you're trying to solve challenges for clients like campaign attribution or poorly integrated MarTech stack, those are the exact things that SharpSpring helps with. We also allow agencies to set pricing for their clients so you can pocket as much as 75% of the revenue generated. Interested in speaking further? Sign me up. Oh, dang. Look how fast that was. He has an autoresponder. That's funny. Another sponsored one. We're not going to respond to that. Robert Patton. Like, these dudes that will literally just bomb your DMs. Oh, this guy's an author of the Agency Blueprint. I feel like I've seen a few of those. Sounds like a Ponzi. It does, kind of. Nick Layton. Like, who does this? Okay. Hi, Josh. Looks like we're shared contacts in the marketing space. Would love to connect. Cheers, Nick. Which I'm sure this dude's fine, but thanks so much for connecting. I don't even think I connected with him. We'll see in a second. I'll click on his profile. Hi, Joshua. If you're not on LinkedIn all the time, prefer to set up a quick call. Are you free sometime next week? This guy's relentless, bro. Just wanted to circle back once more. If you still would love to chat sometime, feel free to call. Guys, please don't do this. This is like the worst thing to possibly do when DMing people. I just want to see how I'm connected with him. Oh, I am connected with him. Wild. I wonder why I connected with him. Maybe maybe Sid connected with him for me. Wild. Yeah, like crazy, man. I don't know. I don't really get LinkedIn. Like, this is the kind of stuff that kind of drives me nuts, where you just get, I don't know what's going on the same one. Like this right here. Helping agencies, coaches, and consultants fill their calendars by building guaranteed client acquisition systems. No, I already reached out to this guy. He didn't even respond to me. I said, hey, man, I don't own a marketing agency. Appreciate you reaching out. I didn't see that he worked with coaches and consultants, though, in all fairness. But, like, this, in my opinion, guys, this is just not the move. If this is how you're going about your lead generation, I'd highly recommend changing it. It's just so transactional, and if you want to get, like, serious business owners on board with what you're doing, I just honestly don't see how this works. I just turned my head immediately. It's like, I know I'm coming in cold here, which, yeah, there's always a few good examples, but, you know, yeah, I mean, it's like, I bet you've never heard of two of them. Like, 3 ways that we can get you more clients. I bet you never heard of 2 of them. It's like, bro, if this is how you're getting clients, I don't want you anywhere near my client lead gen, right? And, like, I know it's like, it's not great to shit on these guys, and, like, you should be trying to help them, but, like, I guess this is me trying to help everyone in this room right now. Like, guys, don't do outreach like this, okay? Like, give them some value. Actually be genuine about connecting with people. And it's like, you know, yeah, I don't know. It's just hard sometimes. And I think LinkedIn is so oversaturated with this kind of stuff that people will just ignore it, in my opinion. So, what else we got? I thought I had more than this. Maybe not. Well, we'll come back next week and see if we have any more. Maybe we'll do like a little segment of like, I'll save all the messages that I got. Awesome. Let's open it up for Q&A. Honestly, Instagram is the best for us, and we leverage social proof and just popping in. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what your script is, Oz. You know, at the end of the day, like, I understand cold is sometimes a necessary part of lead generation. I'm not against it by any means. It's just how you come in and how strong you come in. And like, for me, like, I don't know. I have a hard time with just like people that are so transactional and be like, hey, like, buy my shit. If you build a little rapport, and it's like, I understand like people are pitching, like I'm normally okay with it. It's just, you know, Normally I'm just not in the market to buy stuff, but I don't know. That's just me. All right, let's hop over to the Discord channel. Let's open it up for Q&A. I'll bring you guys up. Not too shabby. Oh, shoot, there's like no one in here. But that's okay. Adam's in here. What up, Adam? Oz, what's good? You guys, if you're watching on the live stream right now and you want to hop over to the Discord, I'll put the Discord in the chat, and you can jump in and ask questions if you want to. If not, no worries. And we'll just keep jamming. We might end a little bit early. Let me invite. We will copy and drop this in here. Boom. Join the Discord if you want to come and hang. We're happy to have you. Shrabes. Oh, he said YouTube audio is not working. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. What do you think, guys? First stream. A few hiccups here and there.
Yeah, apart from technical difficulty, I think it was solid.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I know the morning formula is not everyone's cup of tea, but at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I get questions about like what I'm doing in the mornings.
Yeah. Where should I put my script at? Chop it up.
Why don't you put it in general? Or you can put it in, I don't know. Yeah, just put it in general. That works.
Yeah, dropped it in.
Nice, man. Appreciate you doing that. Nice. Cool, man. Like
this
what?
Is for Twitch clients.
That's for your Twitch clients. Prospect. Yeah. This is ex-editor, content manager, my partner, and I launched an editing account management business to simplify the creative process for influencers. We help them get back to their strong suit, creating content, and we handle all the best production and distribution of that content. We want to help creators get their free time back instead of managing a content team. We're looking for new content creators that we think could benefit from this, and we thought of you. Would you be open to checking it out? If yes, just apply with the best way for us to communicate. Discord seller email. It's interesting. So where, in my opinion, where you start to potentially lose me. Oh, we're looking for a few new creators. Okay, so this is what you're sending to people that would help you create content. This isn't like for prospects.
No, this is for prospects. It's like, hey, like we think this is a good match. Ironically enough, like this like little exclusivity thing like really hooks them, makes them seem like I don't know, I guess like
okay,
like particularly vetted them.
Yeah.
I think some part in the middle here, I kind of repeat myself, and I think that's where like I would lose myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably cut it off at like get back to their strong suit, creating content.
Yeah. The biggest thing, like if you're gonna do like cold stuff, like I would definitely recommend, like just testing different things. So like do like split test, specifically. Gonna be really important to just test a bunch of different things, like across all of the messages that you send out. So.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we typically do as well is that we also like pop into their stream, or like I think with you, I think you knew me as like your biggest Twitter fan before you and I connected.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like popped up on your social enough to where like the name became at least semi-recognizable.
Exactly, and that's the so the perfect example of this is actually Kevin Thompson, who's in the audience right now. So Kevin has been following me for a little while now. Started liking, commenting on my stuff. And so I followed him back, noticed that he was an agency owner. Of course, like Kevin is would become a prospect at that point in time. And like someone that I would love to get into my program. And so essentially what happened was like, I just, Kevin had started asking me questions about specific things. And I know this isn't the case for everyone because it's like, not everyone has the same platform as me, but it's like, I had to grow my platform, right? I didn't start at where I'm at now, and I don't even have a huge following now, but I had to start somewhere, right? And so with Kevin coming in and starting to ask me questions like, hey, like Kevin could potentially be a prospect. It's like his business seems to be in a place where he could become a client one day, right? And so Kevin and I have built a lot of rapport over the last couple of months, and really I haven't asked much from him, right? Haven't really pitched him on anything specific. And eventually we built enough rapport where I felt comfortable going to Kevin and saying, hey man, like I'm launching this course. We're in the beta for it. Would you be interested in jumping in? Let me know and we could chat about it. Right. Something along those lines. Where like I literally pitched him on a DM of like this, but I've had so much rapport built with Kevin and we've had enough conversations where he was like, yeah, dude, like I honestly like, yeah, I think that would be cool. It's like, he probably didn't even think of it because I just didn't ask. Right. And so that's the way I kind of do, like, if I'm going to do cold DMs, it's probably going to be that way where I'm building relationships with people. And then eventually I'll go in for the ask when I feel there's enough rapport built there. And I'll do this like probably once a month with like people that I've started building relationships with in the digital space. Cause like Kevin like comments on my stuff on Twitter all the time. I try to support him as well with his social efforts. And he ended up being like, once again, one of the easiest closes ever. Because we had rapport built and there was a trust that I knew what I was doing. And yeah, he jumped in, like we did a 1-call close and that was it. And now Kevin's hopefully going to become one of our best case studies. But it's like, that's the way I kind of see cold DMs going, because the cold DM process is like very, very overplayed in my opinion, but it is a volume game. So if you are going to go the route of like being a little bit more transactional, you have to do a lot of it. Like, I mean, a lot for it to be super effective. But that's just my thoughts. Dope. Let's open the room up, guys. If you guys have questions about agency life, agencies in general, fulfillment, lead generation, building, selling agencies, we can answer questions. Let's bring Daniel up. Yo, what's up, Daniel?
Hey Josh, how's it going?
Good, man. Just jamming away here. Did you tune into the live stream?
Yeah, I just did.
What'd you think, man?
Oh, wait a minute, which live stream?
So we did a live stream on YouTube.
Oh, damn, I missed that.
For the first hour. Oh, it's all good, bro.
Oh, wow, okay.
You can watch it back. That's the best part about the live stream, is it will stay on YouTube.
Yeah, that's great. So, so congrats on that. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Yeah.
What's your question, bro?
Actually, I wanted to follow up on what you said. So it's something that I'm thinking about a lot these days, about how to build a reputation, in the e-com industry and position the agency and myself as a leader. Mm-hmm. So I thought about a fun question for you to ask.
Yeah.
If you had to start an agency from scratch and mm-hmm. you were unknown in the industry and you had 6 months to build your name, to build the name for your agency, what would you have done?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I would say 6 months is too little of a time frame to give yourself. If you look at how the agency that I was a partner at, and how we started, the entrepreneur that started it, did it for a year before he brought me on. So very little traction in his first year. He was able to land a couple clients, and had good retention, like he was delivering results, but didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff like content creation and networking and all of those things. So brought me on, employee number 2. Took us about 3 to 6 months to get me transitioned in a position where I was actually helping enough to be able to take things off of his plate, right? And not have him like so attached to like have to like guide me through it, right? And so it took about 1.5 years before we really started getting good traction with our agency. Okay. And we started bringing on other teammates as we started to grow and started to delegate even more. Because like that was the whole idea, is like, hey, we need to get the CEO out of the driver's seat in order to allow him to go and network, create content, and position ourselves as a market leader. And that's what we allowed him to do, right? And so for us, it's like I wouldn't look at a 6-month window. I'd be looking at a 1.5 to 2 year window of, this is my time frame. This is what it's going to take me to grow and scale to this point. And some people might not like the sound of that, but when you're in the like direct to consumer e-com space like yourself, Daniel, everything is built on trust, right? You want the big clients. They're not looking at the cold DMs. They're going to completely ignore the cold DMs. Chances are they're not even looking at Facebook ads. They're looking at other successful brands in the industry and they're saying, hey, who are you using for email marketing? Oh, well, I'm using Chase Diamond, right? Okay, great. I'm going to go to Chase Diamond, right? Because that's how large brands, just like within the agency space, hey, who's helping you build your agency, right? Chances are they're working with someone and have good things to say about someone, right? Could be me, could be other people in the coaching space, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's what it's about, right? Delivering good results and like giving yourself enough a larger time window. So I would say like if I knew nothing and I was expecting success within 6 months, I'd do everything I could to get like my first 5 clients paying me like anywhere between 2,500 and 5K. And after that, I would work on bringing on a teammate to relieve me of the fulfillment process. So I could focus on things like content, right? And I would work for free until I got to that, or until I landed my first 2 or 3 clients, build a case study, build good results, get some testimonials, and then position those for other sales calls that I have.
Got it. So I guess the 6 months time frame is just just to get it like really sharp and focused on the real things. It's a metaphorical 6 months, but let's say you got the results and you got testimonials, but now you just have those 5 clients. What would you do?
Yeah, so I would bring on another employee to help take the fulfillment away. Okay, I would work that employee, sharpen their skills. In the meantime, while I feel comfortable that they're taking some of that workload off my plate, I'm probably going to start creating content, start saving extra profit from my business to buy into a mastermind, to buy into e-commerce events, whatever it might be, and I would go and attend those things, and I start placing myself in the right rooms with the other entrepreneurs that I know would help me grow or would get me connected or that I could build partnerships with, right? Because you offer one service, which is email marketing. Okay, well, there's a lot of agencies out there that don't offer email marketing. Well, maybe I can work a partnership with someone where they can bring me some of their leads and we can see growth together.
Got it. So it sounds like 2 prongs. One is the content creation, and the other is partnerships or just being in a room with people.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And that's how we grew our agency. We never ran a paid ad. We never did any cold outreach. We simply were just in the right rooms at the right time and opportunities presented themselves. Same thing with my consultancy now, right? In the right rooms at the right times, opportunities presented themselves, and I've worked within my first year and a half of running this consultancy, some of the largest e-com agencies in the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. How's the content play into this picture? Like, what exactly would you try to achieve with the content?
Market leader positioning is the biggest thing, right? Of showing my knowledge to this marketplace, and kind of crossing my fingers that we get some attraction, we get some attention, and we get some lead flow from it.
I see. Cool. Yeah, makes sense.
So, because people don't like coming to it, like in my opinion, I don't know. I tend to do my homework whenever I, buy consulting agency, agency stuff, whatever it is. And so I want to do my homework on these people, right? So I might check out their Twitter feed. I might check out their Instagram feed, their business page, whatever it is, right? And so for me, I want there to be a strong positioning, like, okay, like we're a solidified brand and we're here to stay. Like in our consultancy we've only got 3 staff members. We're bringing on our 4th tomorrow. But in my opinion, like, I think positioning is everything. Like, I have to position us as extremely successful, and probably people think we're a larger business than we actually are.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm going to bring Adam up. I'm sure he has 2 cents on this because Adam and his team, they do a lot of cold outreach as well, and they're actually very successful with it. But I'll also, Adam, let you chime in and give your 2 cents.
Yeah, we do tons of cold outreach, and it's working, but it's not that sustainable.
Yeah, it's always
As you
good to
said,
have multiple lead flows, right? So you should have, you know, an organic strategy. You should have a cold strategy. You should have a paid strategy, but you have to get really good at least one of them first. Like, so for me, it's organic. Like we crush it on organic, and so that's what we lean into. We're great at it. We're consistent with it, and so now we're actually building a paid ad strategy, and we'll launch that probably next month.
yeah, yeah.
We still got to get better at organic, man. But that's why we got Oz, though.
That's right, man. We got Oz and we got Tyler now.
Let's go, dude.
It's gonna be so good.
What's up, Daniel? How are you, man? Sorry, I've been like kind of semi-listening. I was sending out a contract, so if you want my opinion, brother, can you refresh me?
Yo, Adam. So yeah, thanks for hopping in. So basically, the question was, how do you get from so my state and position right now is that we've been working for a couple of years. We've gotten clients through cold emails, cold outreach, LinkedIn outreach, but not much organic. And I understand, you know, what Josh is saying about becoming more of a thought leader, industry leader, and also networking more. So I wanted to understand what would be the 80-20 of it. Like how would you get to that position as quickly and effectively as possible?
Yeah, so we did cold outreach for like our strategy for cold outreach now is we do it a little bit less just because we spend so much money on paid ads, and so now we just have a setter, and we have so many leads come in that don't book an appointment. That's really a big stream. It's just ads and then now the setter. But when we were first getting started, man, obviously like Josh was saying though, I would probably give yourself a longer time frame than 6 months. Like John and I, my business partner John, we run a agency called Lead Jolt, and so our first year of business, we were Realtor Domination. Got an email from the NAR, had to change names to Commission Accelerator, and we've been running for Lead Jolt for 2 years. But it's like, you know, 6 months is such a short time frame, dude, to even like get some traction. So I would probably extend that for starters. And for organic, I know you want to grow that. How much are you posting? What are you putting out?
Well, currently we just started. We've put a few blog posts and started Twitter, but that's like really starting.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely just, you know, ramp that up. And as far as outreach goes right now, outbound like messaging, how much are you doing?
About 100 emails a day.
Are you only on emails?
Yeah.
Why aren't you on
We did
anything else?
LinkedIn in the past.
You didn't
Sorry?
get results from LinkedIn?
Well, we got results up until about half a year ago. Then it started declining really quickly, so it just became ineffective.
Do you think it was like maybe something with the scripts, something with the like VAs you were using or that you were doing?
Well, we were doing the same thing, which gotten us like 30 calls a month, and then we declined to about 2 calls a month from LinkedIn. So
Yeah. Well, maybe,
yeah,
dude,
so
you know,
LinkedIn.
maybe your strategy just got a little fatigued, dude. Maybe I would revamp the LinkedIn strategy. Maybe just try getting on Facebook and Instagram. We still get a lot of stuff from Facebook outreach, like the outreach that we do. The outreach that we do right now. It works pretty well still on Facebook and Instagram. And obviously we what niche are you in, brother?
Email marketing for e-commerce.
Oh, got you. So that's why you do so much email. That makes sense. Yeah, 100%. So, but you can still 100% get clients on Instagram and Facebook, bro. I would try spinning some scripts up on that.
So you actually do you use any company for that, or are you just doing everything in-house?
I would just get a VA, man. It's going to be way cheaper.
Cool, yeah, that sounds great. So you actually so you post from so I mean you DM from your own personal profile, I guess.
So you can do it from your personal profile, but just from like personal experience, bro, that absolutely fucked up my pages, man. Like I can't even like I get on Facebook, bro, and like my DMs are just so fucked. Like it's insane. So I would advise against using your own account. Make another account, bro. Like use some other account that's just for DMs, post some content on it, and then if you get VAs, just have them make an account, even if they're in the Philippines. Just give them a different name to use, or most of the time they have like, or wherever they're at, they can have like a different American name. Make an account with that, and yeah, man, I would do that. Also, for emails, what are you using to send out all your emails?
Mailshake.
Have you heard of Limlist?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar, isn't it?
Yeah, so I love Limlist just because I don't know how well this would work, man. I'm not like in the e-com space, but maybe Josh, you have some input on this. But we did a lot of personal first lines, and those just worked so well for us, man. And with Limlist, we would have a VA basically go through and get, because I'm in the real estate niche, so we would just get a whole bunch of realtors' emails, and they would go through all their socials and get a first line, and they would make this Google sheet, and then we would just upload. It could be 500 emails into this into Limlist, and it would just pump out as many as we wanted a day. So we would just it was scalable that way because we could just get more VAs to make more first lines, and we could send out 200-300 emails a day, and like we wouldn't even have to touch anything. So maybe look into Limlist or just a strategy like that on there,
first line, so on. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that's I'm not in the e-com space, but hopefully some of that was valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you do any organic as well?
So like I was saying, our organic, we actually are just getting started, like really pushing organic. So we actually just hired Oz, and so we're getting some content pumped out, dude. We're getting some more organic. It's going to be up soon, but right now, no, not as much as we should have been doing. But we're working on it, man.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Great ideas about Facebook. Love it.
And when you guys go to push organic, this is a conversation I had with John that he kind of gave me some pushback on, but do your organic from your personal brand. As much as you might want to like position the actual brand as like the strong voice, people will resonate better with a personality than they will with just like a singular brand like your company. So start to put your value out with your personal brand. And as you continue to grow, you can diversify who the voices are within your company. But the initial push on the personal brand side is really important. So it should be Daniel speaking, it should be Adam speaking, it should be myself speaking into the brand for the time being, and then eventually you can diversify that voice on the organic side. And it won't necessarily push away people that are looking to buy the agency. Because you'll have other traffic.
That's my biggest concern,
You'll have other traffic sources, right? So the traffic is not dependent solely on you as an entrepreneur. So, what'd you say, Adam?
No, I'm agreeing. It's making sense.
Yeah. So you'll have other traffic sources that you can push through. Now, if it is 100% reliant on organic and your personal brand, that's when it becomes an issue. But if you have other traffic sources, and then as you grow, you start to diversify the voices that speak on your platform, that is normally the most effective way to do it.
Yeah. I just want to, because, obviously this year, like the educational side of our business is really important. And so our media buyer that we just brought on, he's been crushing that. I think I showed you that training that he put out for the clients, and so he's really doing well with that. And so, I agree with what you're saying, and I think that we are moving in that direction. I think, I don't know, and I wasn't obviously in the conversation. I don't know what John said, but one of the biggest fears is obviously we're trying to sell this thing, and I don't want to be a Tom Ferry in the space. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't want to become so much coaching. I want that to be like an addition to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it'll be a constraint for you guys. I think it will position you well.
For you though, bro.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
So I know you, and maybe you like don't have experience with this yourself because you've never been like in lead gen per se. But bro, I am curious because you talk to so many people, bro. Mm-hmm. What are some comp structures that you've heard for lead gen media buyers? Because my only most people just say like, oh, dude, like, just give them bonuses on KPIs.
Mhm.
But for me, bro, like personally, I feel like KPIs is like minimum, man. Like you got to hit KPIs to keep your fucking job. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't want to bonus on KPIs but
Yeah.
every other department in our company has a commission structure. So like
Sure.
our CSMs for renewals, obviously the salespeople are all commission. Even our LSAs, like for a certain amount of appointments booked, and for the media buyers, I'm just curious, like for lead gen, because it's easier for ecom, right? Like certain numbers hit, you get X amount of revenue or
Sure.
whatever it is, right? And so, yeah, man, I'm just curious. Like, have you heard of some comp structures for lead gen media buyers?
Yeah, I mean, something that you could potentially consider is around like the success of individual clients that you're working with. So, when clients churn out, if you have a lower churn rate, which I know it's not all predicated towards the results, but like I would say the majority of the reason why people churn is because of results, right? Like you guys have good communication, so I'd do it based off of churn percentage.
That's a good idea, man. And I think for a per account basis too, like when a client, because we have so many clients that are closing deals all the time, putting people under contract. Like that's the only problems with that is it's so much harder to track.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I mean it is tough to track, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a trackable KPI.
I hit my boy Ashton up about it because I figured maybe he'd have some 2 cents,
Uh-huh.
but he ghosted me, dude.
He ghosted you? Yeah, he's a busy dude.
like
We'll get together with him sometime soon. And jam. I'll invite him to the next.
he usually answers the old DMs, man. But
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
get-
I know he's got a lot going on right now. Like he just moved back, and I think he's trying to get his team moved here as well. So
He's a beast, dude. He's such a beast.
yeah, he does good work. Cool, guys. Any other questions? Kevin, you got anything for us today? Are you feeling good?
Josh, how you feeling, man? How you doing?
I feel good, man. I leave tomorrow for Miami.
Yeah, bro, you pumped?
Yeah, super pumped. John's gonna be there. So I'm excited
I
to
was
see
gonna
him.
come, man. I was gonna fly out, and I was, dude, I wanted to be there, but I just got so much shit going on, man. And I was
Yeah.
like, cool, John's gonna be there. He'll do enough networking, I'm sure, bro. So
Oh, yeah.
it's all good. But I wanted to be there, man. I wanted to come see you speak, dog.
Yeah, I'm excited. Tyler will be there too. John will be there. We're gonna get some dope content while we're gone too. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on right now. It's just I have to stay focused and make sure that my time is getting utilized in the right areas.
Yeah.
So cool, guys. Daniel, do you have any other questions? Oz, any questions?
No, good. Thanks very much for the advice.
Of course.
That's great. And I'd love to hear, by the way, more from us about what kind of content work and anything around that.
Yeah, I mean, what we're kind of leaning into right now is, we do a lot of Twitter content. If you kind of follow along with some of my tweets, you can see some of the things that have worked well for us. Normally I'm posting 2 to 3 threads per week, really thought out tweets. The rest of my tweets are just kind of like, I don't know, random, not necessarily BS tweets, but they're not necessarily like the most fulfilling. It's just to fill the tweet or the Twitter thread, or the feed. And so, for me, like Twitter's, in my opinion, about like, being omnipresent, right? Of like, it always feels like something's going out on the platform. And so, that way, when you do drop the bombs, like people are used to seeing you. And when you drop a bomb, it's like, it'll get the engagement it deserves. So that's something that I do. What else? We're getting into YouTube pretty heavily. With YouTube content, we'll also be able to create a decent amount of shorts, and TikToks and Reels with that, which obviously is getting a lot of great organic traction right now. I do not do any LinkedIn currently. I'm sure there's some cross posting that I could do. I don't know. I just don't enjoy LinkedIn as a platform, so I tend to stay away from it. And Instagram, I do a lot on Instagram as well, and actually not as much as I used to, but we'll be getting back into reels over there, but also posting some other content. So outside of that, it's more of a consistency play and just figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Something that's very popular right now is like the Hermosi style short form content of just like sitting in front of the camera, doing the captions underneath it, and like delivering a 30-second valuable piece of information. That seems to be working well right now. We're going to try and stay away from that because it's starting to blend in a little bit. So we're going to be doing potentially a little bit different style of content. I don't know what yet, but we're trying to figure it out.
We're testing some stuff.
I'm waiting for your next YouTube video, man.
Dude, yes, more YouTube videos coming. It's gonna be fun. What were you saying, Oz? I know you're in the mix.
Yeah, sorry. I know I said we're actually trying some new stuff out with Ray, changing up some of the minor stuff, tweaking it.
Who's Ray?
Actually, I need to get with Johnston. Right Hook Digital.
Oh, Ray. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. I talked to Ray today, and he told me that he was working with you. I was like, oh, dope. I was like, that's perfect. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what he puts out because I think he will get D to start posting more content. Because Ray's gonna put out good stuff. He's really good, but D has a really fantastic personality, and I think if he posted more and built a little bit larger name, their agency would go from. I mean, it's already huge. I mean, they've got a 100-person team, but they would go just mental if they put just a little effort into organic.
Yeah, and what I love about Ray is like he's willing to try like the eccentric stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious what you make for him. Keep me updated on that because we might want to try a few of those things.
Yeah, I might he's like, if you have any crazy ideas, it's like, because like it's like the stuff that's like really odd, like the oddities are like what TikTok is like the home for, like the league of misfits, like the people that are just doing things like oddly, right?
Yep.
It's like one person's like gone viral doing the news from under our table. So I think he mentioned that to me, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, he has a window right behind him. It's like, what if we just open that window and just have him sit on the window?
Yeah.
And talk about agency stuff.
I love it. That'd be beautiful.
So, yeah. And then we're training up some of like the text and A/B testing, like positioning and sizing.
Nice.
Yeah, Oz, bro, you get some good ideas, man. You pass them our way too, brother.
Bro, that's why I told you I wanted to talk to John, because I think John, I want to pick his braid to see how the ads are performing and A/B test a couple of those variations that I had him.
Let's definitely do it too. And now is a good time, man. My boy John, he's down in Florida too, bro. So if you have any good ideas, he can get it filmed up quick.
Yeah, I'll hit him up.
Yeah, John's one of those guys you're gonna have to be on his ass to get film content.
Brother, you have to be on his ass for anything in the world.
Love it.
Anything in the world, man.
Yeah, he's been on my case. I think we just got backed up recently. We had like an increased delay in time deliverables, turnaround times.
Oh, look who it is, Mr. Alex Steele. Alex, I'm curious if you're coming to base camp. I know we got you a ticket. I don't know if you ended up getting the time to come out there, but hopefully I get to see you next week, man. But I know you're here just to chill. I don't know if anyone has any other questions. We've been jamming pretty hard for the last 30 minutes here. Anyone else got anything? Kevin, Alex, any questions? Been doing the live stream for about an hour and a half now, which I'm down to jam more. Just let me know. But if we don't have anything else, then I'm gonna go pack because I leave for Miami tomorrow morning.
So I had a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I think this is more on the technical end. As far as like improving on copywriting, where tend to be the best sources of knowledge that you've been able to tap into?
Yeah, really good question. Copywriting is like a craft you have to practice, right? And so good copywriting doesn't just come from consuming good resources. It comes from like actually applying. And I'm sure Alex is a pretty elite media buyer by trade, and has been in this industry for a pretty long time. He could probably give you some really good resources. Ashton is also an incredible media buyer. Let me try and find the one resource that he sent to me, and I will plug it for you guys as well. But I gotta find it first. But What's up, Alex?
Hey, bud.
How you doing, man?
Good. Doing good, man. Yeah, about to just touch on the base camp thing there. Yeah, we're packing up to move, so
Oh, shoot.
unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to get out. My wife
Oh,
would probably
man.
kill me if
That's
I
okay,
left her
brother.
to do packing.
All good, brother.
Yeah. To kind of touch on the copywriting topic there. I like almost failed English basically throughout high school, so I'm a terrible writer. But I learned my copywriting basically just through reading a lot, like reading fiction, reading self-help books, all this kind of stuff. So just like diving into a lot of reading, you end up picking up the way that authors typically describe things and how they draw you into different scenarios and stuff like that, right? So that's kind of where I learned most of my copywriting. It was just through reading books, reading other people's copy, kind of diagnosing them and breaking them down into different sections and stuff like that. So
Love it. I'm still trying to find. Ashton was like, I read these letters I used to read these letters like every single day, and used to just write them word for word. I don't remember what they're called. He talked about them one time. I saved them, and I'm trying to find where I saved them at.
Just thinking about that, Josh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of his name. I'm trying to think of that guy's name.
It's something letters. Where did he send this random? I found it. I bookmarked it. It's called the Halpert, Gary Halpert newsletters.
Oh, Gary Halbert. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary Halpert, actually. Yeah.
I'll drop it in the chat for everyone. It's in the general. I'll drop it in the YouTube comments as well for anyone that's watching there.
So are you looking to learn copywriting by yourself or hire someone?
Right now it's a lot of me doing it. So I use copy in a very different way. You guys do a lot of written copy, and I do a lot of spoken copy, which is the exact same process, except you just have to read it out loud afterwards. It's like structuring and communicating. So as you guys know, like a lot of what we do is we work on social, and so for there, it's like it isn't always so much like how much detail can I get them to close, but it's like how much detail can I get them without losing their interest, and also still communicating why this is valuable, right? So there's like a story telling piece that like comes into play into it, and then there's the other half of it that's like good copywriting and communication, I'd say. But
so the thing is, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm a slow writer. I can do decent copywriting, but it just takes me so much time. So I was always looking to hire copywriters, and there are tons of people who are super talented. They will get you and what you're trying to achieve with the videos, but they are not necessarily expensive or anything like this. A lot of them are like relatively beginners, but they're still sharp. They're just there are a lot of copywriters, lots of supply, but not that the demand is not always there. So if you post ads in Facebook groups like Cult of Copy job board, if you know that, post an ad there, you will get like 40, 50 copywriters, filling out your form and, wanting this job.
yeah.
So what I do, I usually post in several of these Facebook groups. I can send you the names if you're interested. And I give them the same brief, and then what I'm doing, I'm just comparing, and you immediately see who's sharp, who's not, and just choose.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, let's definitely connect afterwards.
Awesome. Yeah, that's it.
Good stuff, guys. Anything else that you guys want to chat about this week? Let me know. If not, we'll hop here, and but happy to jam on other topics if you guys have them. Nothing. All right.
I got a question for you, for an interesting one. I guess maybe just like in general, I'm seeing a lot more of the agencies starting to use influencers, and maybe you guys can help me unpack some of that, like what the purpose is. Maybe what you guys are seeing like the use for, and maybe that's just because I think I've been speaking with a couple of the folks at.
So agencies
more
using
details.
influencers in what sense? Like they're using influencers for their agency, or they're using influencers for brands?
For brands. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, so this is something that's been happening for a decent amount of time now. I think one of the brands that made it famous is Snow Teeth Whitening, and the influencers that they had aligned with their brand from the beginning. So a few things. So like if you've ever heard Josh Elizechi talk before, he talks often on this specific subject. So like when he gives keynotes of like starting a brand and like how he used brand influence. And the way that he went about it was they started with actually really large influencers. And he always says he wishes he would have started with like the smaller influencers, people with 20,000 to 100,000 followers that had like a cult like following and had like really good engagement. Because like the other ones were just expensive. Like I think he had Kardashian. I can't remember which one. I think it was Kim. So he had a Kardashian. He had Rob Gronkowski, Floyd Mayweather, a lot of these types of big influencers for the brand, but they came with a price, right? So it did help him get on the map, but he said if he had to redo it again, he would have used smaller influencers. But it's positioning, right? It's this person uses it, and I like this person, so I'm also going to use that product, right? So the influencer side of things has been around for a decent amount of time now. I would say at scale, like the brand that I've seen do it the best was Snow Teeth Whitening back in 2018, when they first kind of launched the brand. I think they put it on the map. I mean, obviously some other brands have done it before. Other non-ecom businesses have done it before, but that's the first brand that I've seen do it at that type of scale, for specifically a D2C ecom, and then everyone kind of followed suit. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Cool, guys. I appreciate you guys. I am going to split a little bit early today, and the reason being is I leave for Miami tomorrow. I still have to pack, still have to do a lot of that stuff. So I'm gonna go do that. The live stream is going up, so if you missed the live stream, there's another hour of content that you can listen to. We're getting the YouTube channel rolling. If you guys wouldn't mind, it would be super helpful if you went and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It would mean a lot to me if you guys went and did that and engage with some of the content over there. But more to come. A lot of fun stuff coming. We're going to be filming a lot at this Miami event, so you're going to get to see some of the ins and outs of that. So excited to bring you guys more content. And we'll be, I think we'll be back next week. Or do I leave on Wednesday? I don't remember. If I leave on Wednesday, I'll let you guys know. And we might have to either move agency therapy or just cancel it for next week, but we'll let you guys know. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Much appreciated, much love, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.